Good morning, students. Welcome to third session of Social Science, Chapter 8, Natural Resources. In the previous two sessions, we have already discussed about some topics. I hope everything was clear with those topics. Now let us start with the next topic, that is soil formation. So, what do you mean by soil formation? Soil is a thin layer composed of various elements on the surface of earth which supports vegetation. Now here you can look into the picture that organic layer supports the growth of vegetation. Different layers of soil are shown in this picture. Now soil formation greatly depends on climate and soils from different climate zones that show distinctive characteristics. हर जगह पे सॉइल फॉर्मेशन का प्रोसीजर जो होगा वो डिपेंड करता है क्लाइमेट और फिर उनके क्लाइमेट जोन्स पर, क्योंकि हर जगह के क्लाइमेट और टेम्परेचर में बहुत डिफरेंस होता है. नाउ द सॉइल इज मेड आउट ऑफ रॉक्स. The rocks in the mountain ranges experience constant heat. जो rocks होते हैं फेस करते हैं constant heat को, pressure को, air को and constant flow of water. Coming to the next point, it contains various biotic elements and it also contains minerals. We can call it parent rock because the parental rocks lie below the soil and are made up of minerals. The next is humidity and air. Soil contains humidity and air in it. The third one is humus content, which makes the soil fertile. Now, humus is the organic matter in the soil which is made of dead parts of plants and animals. And when these dead parts of plants and animals decay, the humus is formed. Coming to the next, what is soil? The uppermost layer of the crust of the earth is called soil. Generally, we say that the uppermost layer of the earth's crust is called soil. It contains minerals and biotic elements necessary for growth and development. Now, here you can see a picture of biotic things, that is, all living things when decay in the soil form biotic elements, that is remains of plants and animals, bacteria, fungus, etc. The next point is humus is formed due to decay of vegetation or insects. Just now we learned that humus is formed due to decay of remains of plants and animals and living things. The next point is biotic elements also play an important role in the development of vegetation. Here, biotic elements act as a fertilizer and supports the growth of vegetation and plants. So we can say that soil is formed due to denudation of rocks. Now what does denudation means? Denudation is a process of breaking and removing the rocks from the surface of earth. Now, denudation is caused by some agents. These agents are wind, waves, and glacial ice that break the rock into smaller particles, and thus the soil is formed. But it takes many years for this process. The next point is the soil formed out of the same parental rocks under different climatic influence is different. Now each and every place has different climate. The climatic condition of each and every place is different. So the pressure which is experienced by rocks is different at different places. This also influences the soil. Third one is different biotic elements in different regions is equals to different soils. Every region has different biotic elements present in soil. So, different biotic elements create different soils. Moving further with our next topic, that is types of soil. Now, ICAR has classified soils of India into 8 types. ICAR, that means Indian Council of Agricultural Research, has classified these soils into 8 types. The first type of soil is alluvial soil. It occupies about 43% of the total land area of India. The next is red soil. It occupies 19% of the total land area of India. The third one is black soil. It occupies 15%. Now comes laterite soil, then desert soil, mountain soil, forest soil, and marshy soil. Let us understand these soils in detail. The first one is alluvial soil. It covers 43% of total area of India and is formed due to alluvial deposition by the rivers and is found in northern plains, that is from Brahmaputra in the east to Satluj in the west. This alluvial soil is found normally in northern plains. Second, it is found in Peninsular India, that is delta formed due to Mahanadi, Krishna, Kaveri, and Godavari. It is rich in micronutrients. It has proportion of lime, potash, and phosphoric acid. That is, it is very fertile. These nutrients make the soil very fertile. The next is it is poor in nitrogen and humus. Now, this soil lacks nitrogen and it also lacks humus. So, if pulses are grown, its nitrogen content can be increased. That is, to increase the nitrogen content in this soil, we can grow pulses here. It supports crops like wheat, paddy, that is rice, and sugarcane, etc. Now, this soil is suitable for growing crops like wheat, paddy, sugarcane, cotton, maize, oilseeds, etc. Moving to the next type of soil, that is red soil. It covers 19% of the total area of land of India. That is almost one-fifth area. Now, as the name suggests, red soil, that is red in color. It is red in color, that is why it is named as red soil. A picture of this type of soil is given in your textbook on page number 62. Now, it is red due to presence of ferric oxide, which changes to yellow as you go down. Now, when you dig this soil, when you go deep in this soil, on digging you will find that it changes its color to yellow. You will find yellowish color there. It is found in areas of hills and mountains from Tamil Nadu in south to Bundelkhand in north and Rajmahal Hills in the east up to Kutch in the west. These are the areas where red soil is found. It is found in Tamil Nadu, which is in south, and it extends to Bundelkhand in north side. And then it starts from Rajmahal Hills in the east and extends to Kutch in the west. The next point is it is poor in micronutrients. That is, it has deficiency of lime, magnesium, phosphate, nitrogen and potash. That is, it lacks some micronutrients which are mentioned here. Thus, this soil is not very fertile. It is not fertile to grow some crops. So, it supports crops like millets, that is bajra, as you can see in the picture, then is jowar, potato, etc. Some more examples are given in your textbook also, you can write that. The next is black soil. This soil covers 15% of total land area of India. It is also known as black cotton soil or regur soil. The next point is lava origin found in Deccan Trap. Now, this soil was made due to spreading of Deccan lava. When the lava spread in the Deccan Plateau, this soil was formed. Now, it is found in the regions of MP, that is Madhya Pradesh, then Maharashtra, Gujarat, and some parts of Andhra Pradesh. Next is it is rich in micronutrients. That is, this soil contains iron, lime, calcium, potash, aluminium, etc. It has high content of aluminium, potash, calcium, lime, and iron in it, which makes it very fertile. Next is good water retaining capacity, and when dry, it develops cracks. Now, this soil has the capacity to hold water in it for longer time, which makes it moist. But when this moisture dries up, cracks develop in the soil. These cracks are called fissures, as you can see in the picture given on page number 63, and you can see the cracks. The next is suitable for growing cotton, mustard, tobacco, groundnut, etc. This soil supports the cultivation of cotton, mustard, tobacco, groundnut, etc. As the name suggests, black cotton soil, as it is suitable for growing cotton crop, it is also known as cotton soil. The next type of soil is laterite soil. This word laterite is derived from the Latin word later, which means a brick. It is red in color due to presence of iron oxide in it. Next is when wet. That means when this soil becomes wet, it becomes smooth like butter. And when it dries up, it is very hard like a brick. The next is formed due to change of moist and dry climate. Now this soil is formed due to the changes of dry and moist climate together. It is rich in iron, potash and aluminium but not fertile. Now this soil is less fertile as it contains less contents of iron, potash and aluminium, and it also contains less biotic elements. With the use of fertilizer, crops like tea, coffee, cashew, sugarcane, etc. can be grown. Now, because this soil is less fertile, so with the help of fertilizer or by using fertilizers, such crops like tea, coffee, cashew, sugarcane, etc. can be grown. The next type of soil is desert soil. This soil is found in arid and semi-arid regions, that is areas with less rainfall, or you can say this soil is found in area having dry and semi-dry climate. The next point is sandy soil with low fertility with dissolved minerals. Now this type of soil is sandy and it has saline contents in it and it has deficiency of some biotic elements. Because of being sandy, it is less fertile. The third point is found in Rajasthan, Haryana and southern Punjab and some parts of Gujarat. In Gujarat you will find in Kutch and Saurashtra. Then is with irrigation facilities, the soil supports crops like jowar and bajra. Now, if the irrigation facility is available in this type of soil, crops like jowar and millet, that is bajra, can be grown. Now, let us discuss about mountain soil and forest soil. Here I have prepared a table that is showing you difference between mountain soil and forest soil. Let us discuss about mountain soil first. So it is found in the valley and slopy regions of Himalayas. That is, it is found in the valley regions and slopy regions. It is not saying that it is found in the topmost region of mountain. So here in the second point you will be able to differentiate the soils, because we always have the perception that mountains are tall and the altitude must be at a great height. This type of soil might be existing at great height, but here you see the difference in altitude of both these soil. That is, mountain soil, which is altitude is given is 2700 to 3000 meter. That is, this type of soil is found in 2700 to 3000 meter. But when you look at forest soil's altitude, you will see that it is greater than mountain soil, 3000 to 3100 meters, because mountain soil is found in valley regions and slopy regions. That is why it is having less altitude than forest soil. The next is its layer is very thin and underdeveloped. Now it is very thin because soil erosion takes place frequently there due to wind, snowfall or water, that is rain. So it is underdeveloped because nutrients get washed away due to the erosion, and so it is considered as underdeveloped. It is found in Assam, Darjeeling, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir, because it was mentioned earlier that it is found in the regions of Himalayas. Now, which vegetation it supports? It supports pine and chit trees because farming is not very possible in mountain soil, so pine and chit trees are grown there. Coming to forest soil. This type of soil is found in coniferous forest of Himalayas. Its altitude is 3000 to 3100 meters. Next is covered with leaves that shed and decay, which makes a soil rich in humus. Now this type of soil is rich in humus because the leaves are shedded by the trees and they undergo decantation, which makes the soil more fertile. Now this type of soil has upper part black. So its upper part is black, changes into blue or red color while going down within the land. When you go deep into the land in this type of soil, you will find that its upper portion is black, but on digging further, you will find that it is blue or red in color. Now, where it is found, forest of Himalayas, Terai, Sahyadri, that is Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. This type of soil is found in such regions. It supports vegetation like tea, coffee and spices. This is suitable for growing tea, coffee and spices. Coming to the last type of soil, that is marshy or peaty soil. It develops in humid regions due to accumulation of biotic elements. That is, peaty soil is formed due to presence of biotic elements. When the biotic elements accumulate in the soil, this type of soil is developed. In rainy season, it is submerged under water. Now during rainy season, this soil is submerged within the water. Next is dry season, water recedes so rice can be grown. Now when the water recedes, land becomes dry and the land is exposed and it becomes suitable for growing paddy or rice. Next is it is rich in humus but deficient phosphate and potash. Now this soil is very rich in humus but it lacks phosphate and potash content. Last is it is found in Odisha, West Bengal, coastal Tamil Nadu, Bihar, and Almora district of Uttarakhand. This type of soil is generally found in Odisha, West Bengal, coastal Tamil Nadu, Bihar, and Almora district of Uttarakhand. With this, we finish all the types of soil. That's all for today's session, and I hope everything was clear with the topics explained in this video. So, children, we will continue the remaining topics in our next video. Thank you all.